Let's just start with biology. A boy's prefrontal cortex is literally 18 months behind a girl's. This is the gas on, gas off, executive function, stop playing video games and start studying. So two seniors in high school applying to college, a boy and a girl. The girl's basically competing against a 16-year-old girl. 7 in 10 high school valedictorians are girls. What you have is once we level the playing field, girls blew by boys. And the educational system, I would argue, is biased against boys. Think about the behaviors we encourage in school. Sit still, be a pleaser, raise your hand, be organized. You just described a girl. When you have single-sex schools, boys end up with double the amount of recess time. If a boy is twice as likely to be suspended for the exact same behavior as a girl, 5 times as likely if it's a black boy. 70 to 80% of K through 12 teachers are.
Think of me when you're out there.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen, and anyone else, in my opinion, who's foolish enough to believe and indeed support a post such as this one, what exactly led you to the very incorrect conclusion that all men are, as insinuated, are liars? Because it does insinuate all men. There was no qualification at all that says it should be some men, because I do believe that most of us are very well aware that some people out there do lie quite often. But what exactly has led you to this conclusion? And if you stand on the fact that you support this post, I want you to take into consideration that everything that any man, has ever said to you that was meant with goodwill was a lie. And that includes any man that ever said you did well in school, you did well in sports, and most importantly, take into consideration that at one time your father told you that they were proud of you.
Ooh, okay. You got me there, huh? Honey, who hurt you? Okay, now I think I understand. So it's not that y'all don't like American women. It's because y'all are tired of black American women. Ah, the truth comes out. So you're bitter because you are intimidated by the black woman. We have raised our standards so high because we finally know our worth, and ooh, that makes you so mad.
To all the men in happy marriages and relationships, I know y'all love to see this.
Find myself in times of trouble. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer.
Now, the big smile that these women have when they see the husband or boyfriend goes to show you that they're happy in their relationship. And I want to tell any man in a relationship right now, if you're with your wife or your girlfriend and she's not smiling like this, especially if she didn't see you in a while, there's signs to show that she is not satisfied and she is not happy. It may have to do something with you or it may have to do something with her, but you have to figure that out. Now, if you have a conversation with her and you figure things out and it's you, then you're gonna have to pack it up.
Women don't know what they want. They don't have a clue. Women say they want a masculine man, then they get a man that gives them boundaries and standards, and now he's too controlling. And then they say they want an emotionally available man, but then he's too soft and sweet. Now he feels like, literally, what do you actually want? Most women have no idea. They think they want the man that is the highly esteemed, highly respected, high earning, high value, masculine man. But I promise you, being with an entrepreneur or a business owner as a woman, if your love languages are quality time, ooh, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Because not only do you have to hold for the vision that he has, but also a lot of the times he's not in the household to hold it with you.
So
if you want a man that has a bunch of time to give you, he's probably broke.
So is it true that women really want marriage, or do they just want to feel chosen?
I think the latter. I think most women just want to feel chosen.
I think so.
I don't think women know what they want. I don't. Most women, not all women, obviously.
Hitting the wall was a very real thing. I never argued with Kevin Samuels about that, because the reality is the older you get, the worse your options get. So by the time you get to said age and you look around and you realize what you're left with to choose from, and you realize it is either going to be you dealing with somebody who you don't find to be attractive, somebody who come with a bunch of baggage, who got a bunch of problems, divorcees, bunch of kids. You realize you're dealing with somebody who they never got it together throughout their life, so they still don't have nowhere to stay. They still not financially stable, still jumping from job to job if they even got a job. You just realize you really don't have no options, right? And so now you're met with the wall, right? And either you get to choose at that wall if you're going to settle or you're going to just go ahead and hit it. I'm going to go ahead and hit it. I'm gonna hit the wall.
I think that there are a lot of younger men that have voluntarily checked out of dating in a way. And that's crazy because you're seeing it from both sides, where young men are saying, yeah, I have no interest in this. But I've also seen content on TikTok and, various other places where young women are like, why aren't men telling me I'm pretty and buying me drinks anymore? And we've reached this weird point in our history where young men have just decided, nah, I'm good.
Men are good people, all right? I mean, it's on you if it's not going well. And I'm being honest with you. If you're in a relationship with a man and it's not going well, ladies, it's your fault. No, don't boo me. They're simple creatures. You have overestimated them if you've allowed them to upset you. They are simple creatures. Are you offended by me saying you're simple? No, he's delighted because he wants word to get out, so that she will lower her standards and quit nagging, okay? Here's the problem, is that women think that men are thinking all this stuff, and they're not, Half the time the words escape their lips like invisible paintballs, just pelting and annoying women around them. They don't even know, because women, we overthink everything. That's why we can't have wet dreams, okay? Because we'll be like, how did Brad Pitt get in my room? I thought I locked the door. I don't like this position. I haven't brushed my teeth. We think all the time. They don't. They don't. It's not your fault, honey, that you don't think a lot, because you're impaired. You have outdoor plumbing, and it pulls on your spine and creates pressure on your medulla oblongata. And sometimes we read into stupid they said, and we get our feelings hurt when it's just a dumb dude statement. He's just doing dumb dude stuff. And women get mad. They go, and I appreciate, I'm letting you know, they go, Monique, you make it sound like we should lower our standards when it comes to men. It's like, no, don't lower them, lose them altogether. If he comes home at night, he's yours. Just feed him some noodles and touch his pee-pee, They're that simple. Live your life. Live your life, ladies. I wish somebody would have told me the truth. Go live, do whatever you want, be an astronaut, whatever. They don't care. They're not even paying attention to you. You want me to tell you something? When you try to engage a man in a conversation, when you ask a man a direct question, you know what the man is thinking? The man is not thinking of the answer to that question. The man is thinking, what can I say that will shut this down? I'm not mad. I don't want her gone. You know what I mean? I just want her over there right now. I'm not ready. She's coming in hot and I haven't had coffee, I wish these were jokes.
And what Scott Galloway was talking about is, the way society is. I know they think that, I understand that men have to learn a different way in terms of, you can't always go out there and be rough and tough and playing with cars and rolling around in the dirt. There's a time for that, but then there's also a time to sit, learn. There's a time for that. But that's what they want the majority of men to be, is to sit and to learn. You want me to be a woman. And the man is saying, let me get out. Let me go explore. Isn't that how a lot of places were established? Men going out, exploring, putting the stake in the ground and say, okay, I'm going to build around this. Woman coming by and say, okay, I mean, I don't see anything out here. I sure hope you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And then she be talking the whole way. I don't know what he's doing. This man is crazy. And she be trying, you know what? You better get me some food and you better get me a house. You better build me a house. I'm not messing around. And, you know, he built her a hut and she'd be like, this ain't no house, this a hut. You better get me some food. I shouldn't have come out here. You know, complaining and all the way through. And then all of a sudden you add another room onto the hut and then another room. Oh, well, you know, this still ain't a house. It ain't got this, it ain't got that. And, you know, he done built her a table. And, oh, well, once again, like I said, I need this and I need that. And eventually you have enough rooms and then you put a little roof over it and you got your nice little house. You know, it might not be a mansion, but it's a house, right? And you have your couple kids. The kids get a little bit older. You build them a little hut. They get to working on their little hut. They got a house, right? And then you keep on doing the same thing. People might pass through and they say, man, it seems like they got a little something. Hey, would you allow us to say if we contribute? Yeah. If you ain't going to cause no trouble, then you have other families that move in. All of a sudden, now you got a little neighborhood. And then now you got a little city. Hey, we need to establish some order. Hey, we can't be doing this. We can't be. Hey, we need some fences around here. We need some walls. All of a sudden you got your little town, a little city. Okay. And you keep on doing that. All of a sudden you got your little state. Hey, we need to raise up a military. But that's because men have gone out and they say, oh, I'll take. Now, to be fair, sometimes they done done it and they've been wrong. They've taken people's stuff. To be fair, right? But that's the type of behavior that you're looking for from a man, is to go out there and to explore, to look. Men don't have the ability to explore. They're not given enough time. You spend majority of your day sitting and watching the teacher, and you might have like one class that's physical education, PE. Right? You might have, you know, recess from maybe 15, 20 minutes. They just, I mean, by the time 15, 20 minutes is up, they just warming up. They just started stretching their legs. So men, a lot of times in this society, don't really have, they don't have the ability to explore like they actually need to.
Life as a man is easy. And here's why I say that. When you look at the landscape for men, 90% of your competition literally is not even competition. 90% of people that you're competing against, other men, don't have a purpose. They don't have drive. They do not have anything in their life that's meaningful at all. So what that means is they just gonna spend their time wasting time, chasing women, playing video games, jacking their meat off, right? All of that weird stuff, because they don't have any vision. They don't have anything that they want to actually accomplish in their life. So if you're a man and you're driven, you're self-motivated, you have discipline, bro, it's easy. It's going to be easy for you because you don't really have any competition. The competition you do have is 0.1%. And even then, with those 0.1% of people, they're looking to build with you. They're not looking to compete. So that is why life as a man is just easy.
People have these inflated idea of the options that they have. You don't have all the options you think you do. You have people that would smash you, not people that want to be with you, not people that will invest in you and your character and who you are, and also not people that want to marry you. And I think that's the problem. A lot of these women see their comments or they see their DMs because men are in their DMs. I've had every blue check mark in my DM. It doesn't mean anything. Which one of these men actually want to be my husband? Which one of these men want to raise children with me? Which one of these men want to fly to Omaha to watch my 18-year-old nephew graduate?
Omaha is such a random place.
That's where my sister's at and her husband.
Yeah.
Right? And so I say that to say, if it's not that type of time, they don't value you. And the fact that you think that they value you because they want to smash you, that's the problem. That is the problem. It is delusion. Delusion is on an all-time high. These women are now trying to see, well, if he gave me this, I can get this from him. Oh, if he gave me this, I can get this from him. And they're constantly looking for, how can this get better? Looking for the bigger, better deal. And then they get to the end of the cliff and realize, now I have no options. And now I'm here by myself. So I think it's greed. I think it's ignorance. I think it's a lack for the idea of consequence. And I also think that social media makes everything look so easy. It's not.
This post here says, she was easy, bro, she liked you. And the one above it says, I have tasted the genuine desire of a woman in love, therefore I can no longer chase women. When you experience what it's like to be with a woman who genuinely wants you, and like beyond just wanting you in like the physical, like she want it. Besides that, like when you come across a woman that genuinely loves you, you really don't chase women anymore. Like you can't chase them more. You might get involved with some women and things don't go well, but as far as you like really pining after a woman, chasing after her, that kind of stops after you experience love. Like, because you kind of realize how fake of, like, when you experience love, you realize when a woman really likes you. Like I remember I was with this one shorty. She would ask me, did you eat today, right? And if I hadn't eaten an adequate amount to her liking, she would get upset with me. She's like, you need to eat more. Or if I had work I didn't get to get done, she would not want me to talk to her until she knew I was done with work. Like she didn't want to bother me. Of course she wanted to talk to me, right? But if she called me, I'd be like, hey, what's up? She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm working. She's like, call me back when you're done working. I don't want to distract you. And she would hang up. When you have a woman that considers you, considers your thoughts, emotions, your time, your priorities, things like that, what do you look like chasing a woman ever again?
Okay, genuine question for those that say that women should go 50-50 in a relationship with a man because it's the 21st century and we're equals now.
Okay. What's the question?
Do you think that women fought for the right to have our own money, have our own bank accounts, have our own property, just to turn around and give that to a man?
It really sounds like someone is just a tad bit confused on what actually equality really entails.
To the same people that were fighting us on it, that were like, no, you're not equal. Oh man, I wish you could have a bank account, but you're just not equal.
Wait till they find out that men, some of them at least, actually fought alongside women in their struggle for equality. But then again, that would ruin their narrative.
And then we fought them so hard that they were like, okay, fine, but we get half.
Do you think that someone realizes that splitting the finances 50-50 actually means that the money goes to the bills and expenses? Yeah, probably not.
Do you have a brain hemorrhage? Hey, do you have a tumor?
No, but I can imagine someone that might.
That might be happening with you because your words aren't making any sense.
Well, not everyone has the greatest comprehension skills.
I'm just wondering what kind of options would be available to me. I'll give you a quick synopsis. I'm 42 years old. Last year I used to weigh 203 pounds.
None.
No, I'm not finished.
None. Yeah, you
That was
are.
last year.
Yeah, you are.
This year I weigh 165.
No, ma'am. I said you're finished. You're finished.
I'm done?
Yep.
There's nothing left for me.
Not realistically.
Well, thank you.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Because I'm 42?
It's the age and the weight. And then if you have any children over 40 and you're obese, and if you're coming down, you still can go the other way. And then you have children. Okay, the only way that there would ever be any chance for you is if you were gorgeous. And if you were gorgeous, you wouldn't be calling. So I need the people to understand, I'm not being rude. It's just oftentimes I'll get women who want to call in, they want to tell me their story, and then I know where it's going to end. Ma'am, you kind of knew that in order to overcome just your age alone, you're going to have to be very feminine, very submissive, very cooperative. You're going to have to bring a lot to the table. That's before your weight and before your children. And your children are a messy detail for a man. And you can love your children.
What it sounds like you're telling me to do is to just, like, I need to think, like, it's life or if I don't get a man, I'm going to end up home.
Well, no, you're asking me what do we need to do. Like, if the black culture is to survive, you need to have families. And they can't make families with women who think like you. A family is what?
Mother, father, children.
Right. And in order for men to have wives and children and have a family, they must have women who think like wives. Women like you think like individuals and baby mamas. Fine. No heat, no judgment, but you're not a family. Those aren't families. It's something else, but it's not a family. And a fractured mind is useless to a man who wants to build.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm a fractured mind.
It doesn't matter. What matters is the men who are looking to build cannot plant their seed in contaminated soil. You're done having kids, but look at the kids you've had.
Yeah.
And they're going to be a problem too. So she's supposed to do better than you, but you trained her.
No, because that's just how evolution goes.
Man, you can't make families with individuals.
The Black community, we were doing way better before.
We were doing way better when our women understood their role and before you guys chose yourselves over the community. So now it's time for Black men to choose themselves over you. This is why Black men, you need to understand. You cannot choose a woman who does not want to be your partner. That's the bottom line.
How tall are you?
5'9.5".
And how much do you weigh?
It doesn't matter how tall I am.
Oh, I asked her how much do you weigh?
No, I'm not.
How much do you weigh? If you called into a size show, ma'am, every other caller could devolve.
Let me back up. Let me back up a little bit.
How much do you weigh?
Can I back up a little?
Yeah, you can back up. Beep, beep, beep. How much do you weigh?
This is the reason why I called.
How much do you weigh?
I'm not.
How much do you weigh?
Okay, you're not letting me speak.
There you go. How much do you weigh?
I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh.
How much do you weigh? Get off my channel. That's not all a Black woman brings to the table. Now, she brings mayonnaise. She brings Kool-Aid. She brings sugar. She brings a purse full of peppermints. So now, only in our community can a professional man who does this for a living have a woman think just because she went to school that what her opinion matters more. Big as you want to be. Ladies, understand something.
I am a big girl. You want to know I am 280, dress size is size 20. And my thing is like, why do you feel like being fat equals alone?
Did you watch the podcast?
Yes, I did.
What did I say?
I remember you saying something about BMI and like the standard of beauty. Like most women are like bigger than the average male. Something like that.
But you're offended.
Yes.
About what?
I'm fat. I'm not afraid to say that.
And are you married?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Then you shouldn't have a problem. If you are so self-professed fat and married, by definition, that means you're not alone, correct?
Correct.
Then you weren't in the target market for the podcast, right?
I mean, I'm not in the target market.
You weren't in the target market for the podcast, right?
Correct.
If you're married, why are you on a relationship podcast anyway?
I find it entertaining, to be honest.
Right. So you shouldn't be offended.
I'm offended because I'm a big woman.
Why? You chose to be your size.
I did choose. I did
Okay,
choose.
well, then congratulations. You chose to be your size. You're married. Why do women like yourself go looking for ways to be offended? Go off and be happy with your win. How about that?
I get it, but
And you were able to see a modern woman in real time. When a guy, I think she was saying why some Black women aren't happy with the Passport Bros movement. And a guy, he probably should have used a few different words, but he basically said, nobody actually wants to deal with a miserable, insufferable American Black bee. He probably should have said something a little bit different, right? Try not to be disrespectful, but this is kind of how a lot of men feel. Oh, well, it's not, it's the Black women. No, I can tell you right now, and you can see the wheels turning and how she can make herself a victim. I can tell you right now, it's not just Black women. I'm telling you right now, you just trying to make yourself a victim. It's you and your little friends. White, Black, Asian, Hispanic, it don't matter. It don't matter. All y'all are acting the same way and men are tired of.
Whenever women come online and complain about the level of attractiveness of the men that they themselves are attracting, I automatically assume it's rage bait. Because there's no way you lack that much self-awareness to think that you are so grand and above and beyond these petty little men that try and speak to you on a daily basis. Most men shoot where they think they're gonna score. Let's start there. So if a man is a 5, he's probably going to shoot for other 5s, 6s, 4s, maybe a 7 if he's feeling lucky. Most 5s are not going to shoot for 10s unless they feel like shooting for the moon one day. But on a day-to-day, most men are shooting where they think they're going to score. And yes, he looked at you and said, yeah, that girl's probably on my level. She might say yes to me. And if that offends you, feel free to look in the mirror and change some things. And we have to remember that we are not the ones that set our place in the dating market. We have this idea that we are all 10s out of 10s because I said I'm a 10, so I'm a 10. And that's not up to you. It's actually up to the men. And feel free to ask one to see where you rank, because those ones that are coming online and just asking random men, they are getting comments filled with things that are going to make them very insecure in the future, and I don't wish that on my worst enemy. So ask a trusted male friend, would you?
To the women that take over a day and a half to respond to a text message, just know that I get it. Lesser men would probably think it's an obvious ploy to try and make yourself look busier and more popular than you actually are, but I know that when you are not performing heart transplants on orphans or adopting turtles with HIV, you're training for both the summer and winter Olympics. And even though when we met you were waiting for the bus, the only bus you take now is your tour bus around the country, because you're also an accomplished folk singer and banjoist. And the selfies you put up during that time were not a blatant slap in the face to me, but instead a attempt from your management team to try and make you look more human and normal, which we now know you're not. So just the fact that you took the half second to heart my message shows how truly selfless and generous you are. And if you were ever able to respond with a few words or even a full sentence, that would be life-changing for me. But of course, no rush.
So I'm single and I'm just trying to be like aware of men in the world, okay? And do single men like go anywhere without a chaperone? Like I'm actually starting to panic. Like where are they? Like where are they? I feel like anytime I see a man vaguely my age, like a woman appears, a child appears, that is a father. Where are the single men? Where are they? Do they not go to the grocery store? I've like never seen a man at Target. How do you eat? Like you can't exclusively go to sports games with the bros. Where are you? Like I know I'm at a deficit because I go to like Broadway shows and tap dancing lessons and I work from home. But like I exist in public. I go out for drinks. I go to coffee shops. I go to the mall. I go to the store. Where are they? Where are they going? Where are they? Do they go anywhere? Like, do men only go places if their girlfriend made them? If they have a child to feed? Help.
But there has been times where I will be talking to a man and I won't be feeling it, and people will be like, why? And I'll be like, he's just too nice. And people will look at me like I'm stupid. They'll be like, what do you mean he's too nice? Like you want somebody mean? And I figured it out. It's not that I want somebody mean. It's just what I'm looking for in a man is masculine energy that is dominant over my masculine energy so it can bring out my feminine energy. Does that make sense? Like if I feel like I have more masculine energy than you do, then I feel like you can't really be dominant over me and I can't be submissive and my feminine energy can't come out. Does that make sense? Because it makes sense to me.
Most women don't want to operate in a masculine state, but unless he does, she's unable to feel the polarity that allows her to be in her feminine state. So once you embrace your masculine state, she'll be able to have her femininity flourish.
When you said that Leo said he only does under 25, I was like, the man's figured out life. And I know he picked that age range, not through guessing, but because he's rich, he's famous, he's good looking, he's influential, he's well respected. He is a dream man for many women. He didn't pick the age range of under 25 by accident. He's ran through a lot of floors and he figured out, you know what? By the time you get 25 or older, and you're still single, and you're attractive, that means nobody wanted you. You're like that dented canned good. You're that dented canned good in the grocery store that they put on the discount rack that still doesn't get purchased. And he's right about that. You see, as I stated earlier, most women want a long-term relationship. Facts. So if the driving force of the woman is to lock down a man in a long-term relationship, if she's both good looking and over the age of 25, it would indicate that though she was pursuing this, no man would give it to her. No man would say, you know what, you're the one, I want to stay with you. You're worth me spending the rest of my life with you. And here's the thing, if she's a good looking woman and she's single, you should be even more scared.
It's reality. I
feel like as
It's
women,
not a point of
your
view.
reality is different than my reality. That's what I experience.
that has a skewed perception of how
exactly.
the world works.
I'm a porn
You're
star,
20
so I
years old
have
and
an
you can't even
experience
name
with a
3
life that you have
countries.
no fucking clue about.
You,
I feel like if you ask
shut the up. Look, you have a very skewed perception of how the world really works. Men since the beginning of time have wanted women that aren't ran through. We can line up 100 dudes. 99 of them are going to want a girl that isn't promiscuous. That's not an opinion. That's not just my worldview. That's reality. Okay? If you don't like reality, then that's too bad for you. But that's what it is. You can't sit there and demonize an entire. Shut the up for 2 seconds and listen. That's your problem. You don't listen, and you don't understand anything. You just look at the world from your own perspective. You're wrong. Okay? Because most women are not promiscuous hoes like you getting on the internet. All right? So I'm telling you what it really is. Men don't want hoes, just like women don't want broke boys that are losers. That's a standard that most people agree on. It's reality. If you don't like it, then too bad. All right?
But when I got out of the relationship, I leveled up. I made a whiteboard. My whiteboard said, get closer with God, buy my dream supercar. I bought myself a 2023 Corvette, one of the youngest people to have a 2023 Corvette. Bought my dream dog. I bought several Rolexes. My businesses grossed over $1 million. Thanks to you guys. I saw Myron pulling all-nighters. I pulled all-nighters. I went hard. I lost 50 pounds. One of my goals was to travel to 4 different countries. I did that. I went to Asia, traveled to Tokyo, then went to the Philippines, then went to Thailand, and went to Vietnam, then went to South Korea. I went to 5 different countries, actually. But my goal was to go to 4. And all I'm saying is, I say all of this to say this. So many haters. There was one dude that was a feminine dude that was saying, what is the goal of your podcast? Bro, if it wasn't for y'all podcast, man, no. If it wasn't for y'all podcast, I would still be in a relationship. I probably still wouldn't have to this very day. I wouldn't be fit as I am now. And I'm like back to my 21-year-old self that I was a 2-time bodybuilding pro. And I'm back to that history again. And, you know, without you guys, no, I wouldn't be in this position. And I'm forever, ever grateful to you guys.
I'm in a 4-year relationship. Started when I was in 20 and she was 19. Basically, long story short, we started the relationship. I was pretty well off. I was 20 years old, had a salary of $90K, was doing mortgage. COVID happened, mortgage took a tank, lost my job, had a lot of investment income, about 40 grand, and I became 21. Decided I can drink alcohol now, and became an alcoholic. I got pissed drunk a lot, and I'd wake up, where the f*** am I? My girlfriend, however, was always there. I feel like she really showed her loyalty. There'd be times where she cleaned me up from the throw up, and it was really bad. I even lost a tooth, and she was still there. She's still here. And I picked myself up, 3rd year goes by, and I got a job. Job ended up scamming me after a year. I lost 20K. Credit got shot down from 770 all the way to 430. Terrible. And I have more debt from there. She's still here. She's still kicking around.
So it wasn't that big of a deal, but I'm like, what the fuck? I go to check, and her credit card that I added ran up, like it was a $7,000 limit, and it was ran up $5,000.
What the f- is she buying? That she?
And Sarah was having a conversation with Nisa, and she was highlighting that a lot of modern women, they think they want something because they see the glamour of it, not knowing that the life that you see, a lot of these, you know, celebrities or wealthy people living, honestly and truly, these wealthy people will tell you, if I had to do it all over again, I would do this, I would go here, I would do there. And once again, a lot of wealthy people are not out there flaunting their wealth. A lot of rich people, they walking among you in some sweats. You think, you be watching Kim Kardashian or whatever on TV too much, where yeah, they buy a lot of their stuff, but then a lot of that stuff they are given. They are influencers. So when Vera Wang or Louis Vuitton or some of these other brand name people, they give these people stuff to wear so that when you see it on a show or something, like, man, that's a pretty dress, that's a gorgeous gown, that's a gorgeous outfit. You notice that they put it in the credits, and then you go look and you buy it, and you say, man, I got the same gown as this celebrity right here, so I must be rare, you know, I must be special. I mean, and it happens to everybody. That's how, they sell products and stuff like that. It happens to everybody. But a lot of times modern women get wrapped up in this. And they think, I got to buy this, I got to do this, I got to look expensive so I can get an expensive man. And the expensive man didn't pass by you. She not ready for the life that I have. She thinking that I'm going to be in her face all day. I got to work. I got stuff to do.
Women are starting to ask the question, why don't men approach anymore? What? Why don't men approach anymore? Because you become unapproachable. You become so entitled, so rude. You think you're better than men. You think a man needs to come out and prove something to you when it's you that needs to be proving to him that you're wife ready. Men aren't going to go out and approach you just to get shot down and get laughed at. This is the environment. Men are cost benefit calculators, and far too many modern men are starting to say the juice just isn't worth the squeeze. Men aren't approaching. And when men do approach, you don't like the way they're approaching. Well, men are starting, who are approaching? The dudes with the cat calling and the holler monsters. Because, ladies, you made the market the way it is. You condition the market. You condition the customers. Men are the customers. You can get me too'd by approaching. You ask the question, when does it become harassment? When does it become harassment? The only way it's not harassment is if you're an attractive guy. And most guys are like, if I don't make enough money and they're this tall and this thick, I don't have a real shot. So if approaches are down, guess what else is down? Dating. Dating is almost non-existent. Women are starting.
Say like you're dating a guy, you meet as homeboys, and you realize like he ain't the leader of the pack. I can't. I don't care about what they look like, but I want my man to be the head honcho.
You're like 35. You're like 35 years old talking about you want your boyfriend or your man to be the leader of his friend group. Are we in high school? Leader? The hell are you talking about, leader? We are grown adults. You're like 40 years old. I need my man to be the head honcho of his friend group. He also has to be the best at dodgeball in PE class. What the hell are you talking about? You're 45. So tired of this. It's like I genuinely think that the CIA has to be paying these women to say the most psyop nonsense you've ever heard in your life. Shorty be 50 years old, talk about her boyfriend gotta be popular. What are we talking about? Genuinely, they got the podcast equipment, sat down in front of the mics, press record, and was like, you know what we should talk about today? Us being super grown, like 55 years old, talking about my boyfriend has to be the leader of his friend group or I can't talk to him. Mother of 8, talking about leader of the friend group.
If you hit a man, like you full on as hard as you can, do you think that he should be allowed to hit you back?
I think that men should not hit women. Yeah, even if a girl hits you as hard as they can.
What about, is it wrong for the girl?
No, I don't think so.
He's expected to control his rage and his emotions and his but the woman, she just got mad at him.
Okay, if you think about it, right? Like, I think that's one of the questions on the questionnaire. Like, are men physically stronger than women?
Wait, have you ever hit somebody?
I have.
Like a guy?
Yeah.
And did he hit you first?
No.
That's a position of privilege, right? I don't really understand why they have it, because if you want equality and egalitarianism, the idea here is going to be based around the fact that chivalry is gone. We are now equals. If a man hits you in the face and you can punch them back, why is it if a woman punches you in the face, you can't punch her back? That actually doesn't make any sense.
I'm saying is that men are physically stronger than women. Like, for example,
but men are physically stronger than other men. So if a man who is less strong than me punches me in the face and I punch him back in the face as hard as I can, I'm still punching somebody weaker than me in the face. Why is that socially acceptable, but not socially acceptable to punch a woman who's weaker? That makes no sense.
So I saw this post. She said, I don't believe in hypergamy because most women choose to date broke, chopped, unemployed men. I have an opinion about this right here, okay? But first and foremost, you guys understand, I don't care about hypergamy. I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. I don't think anyone should date someone they're not attracted to, even if this person is their looks. Nobody has a duty to be attracted to someone who they think is chopped or mid. So again, hypergamy, I do not care. But she's saying they date broke, chopped, unemployed men. And I feel like they're saying that because there's like a segment of men that are like just invisible to them. The men she's thinking about, like women dating, sure, they might be like broke and like chopped to her. But I feel like there's an even larger broker and chopped her population underneath that like she's not acknowledging at all. even in like an intentional way, but I think your brain just doesn't register. Because I'm not gonna, if I go outside and I see someone who's like really unattractive, clearly not doing well for themselves, I'm gonna be like, yeah, of course they're not dating anybody. If I see a friend date a guy who clearly has more money than that person and looks better than that person, I still might consider that like an unattractive and broke person for my friend to be. I feel like that's what actually happens. Like, I feel like, oh, like there might be a woman who dates like a broke or chopped guy, like by her standard. But like, I feel like the broke and chopped men that the men are talking about are so much worse. Like, so, like, women don't even know they exist, Loki.
I don't want to say this, like, but I am. There's not really any, like, men these days. Like, you know what, like, masculine men. When I'm talking about masculine, I don't mean, like, bulk dudes, like, like, dumb right now. I'm talking about, like, masculine men. Like, where are those guys, you know? Like, someone like my brother and my dad, they're
What makes a masculine? Yeah, what do you want in a masculine man? Like, change a tire type?
It has nothing to do with looks. It's just a guy who can just like support you and like no jealousy, just like, you know, it's not easy dating me, you know, because, you know, like I said, I'm kind of like an alpha, you know, so I got to meet someone who's more alpha than me.
So you want more alpha, you don't want a beta.
No,
because a lot of alpha homegirls that I have a little bit more of a beta boyfriend situation.
Because I have dated someone that was very, very a yes man, and it was very sweet, but then it gets boring.
You just don't know what the they want. She couldn't even answer the question. He says, what is a masculine? What do you consider a masculine man to be? And she couldn't even tell you. Somebody who supports you and is not jealous is a masculine man? That's your answer? Somebody who's more alpha than you?
I just had 5 grown men walk by, able-bodied men walk by as I struggle to like carry all of my and help this poor mother with 3 children carry her stroller down the stairs.
Well, contrary to what was written across that screen, I don't believe that there's anything at all wrong with most men. In fact, especially if a person pays attention to what some women post on social media, those gentlemen were doing exactly what a lot of those women have been asking men to do. Leave them alone. Don't approach them. And certainly don't talk to them. So why exactly would they be inclined to help some woman that they don't know, not knowing how exactly she's going to react to having those men approach her?
They just looked and kept walking. I'm literally like dropping my umbrella and everything. They just keep on walking.
And I cannot blame them for that, because they had no way of knowing how a strange woman would react to being approached by a strange man. Honestly, it's best that they just played it safe and kept their distance. But a lot of women really want to be treated as equals until they're treated the same way that a lot of men are.
Even having a good man is going to cost you something, and that's going to be amplified if you live with him. Because what you have to realize is that men are raised in a world where they believe that women are to serve them, even if they are good. He can be kind, he can be helpful, he can be a provider, but he's still going to have the expectation that you manage that home and that you assist with managing and regulating his emotions.
So does women.
Because then you're not just his partner. You become his manager, you become the planner. That is that invisible labor. That is that emotional labor, that physical labor, that financial labor, that spiritual labor that oftentimes you don't even realize you're putting into living in this household with this man. This isn't about hating men. This is about how a woman's peace grows differently when her home answers only to her. A man-free home is not anti-love. It's choosing peace over performance.
Guys do go through it too, you know. They're dealing with a lot of shit. They just don't get up and complain and talk about it the way that women do all the time.
I cannot be with a man that sleeps in all the time. A man should be up by 7 a.m. and 7 a.m. is being nice. You are not Sleeping Beauty. Get the up. You don't got work to attend. You don't got a workout to get in. There's nothing around the house that needs to be done. Your car doesn't need to be washed. The grass doesn't need to be cut. Nothing. You just sleeping the day away. You just chilling. Ugh. Be a man. Get the up. Like, early bird gets the worm. Baby, you are starving. You got nothing. Men don't even require that much sleep. And do I think men should take a rest day? Absolutely. A man that works hard all week deserves a rest day. You need to recharge. Sleep in. Do whatever the you gotta do. But that's just your everyday life? You're just chilling. Oh, I wake up whenever, I do whatever. Huh? What? Like, you should be ashamed of yourself.
And I understand what he's saying. There's a guy talking about life as a man is easy because there's not a lot of men out here that have any goals or have any purpose, right? So if you just on your purpose, if you on your goals, a lot of men out here are wasting time, which is true. You do have a lot of brothers out there, unfortunately, that are wasting time. So if you're even like a little percentage point better, you're probably going to lap them, right, in life. And then the guys that you run into that are, around the same as you, then they probably not going to want to compete with you. They probably going to want to get with you and say, oh man, shoot. If they're successful, they go, man, I've been by myself this whole time. Nobody else is doing this. So I'm gonna get with you, man. Let's partner. Let's do something. I can still, we can all get money. You got your field over here. I got mine over here. We come together, man. We do a little something. We make a little bit of money together and we go about our way. Right. And I like it because, it's not necessarily going to be easy. So he said it's not necessarily going to be easy, but it is something that you can work towards. When you say, okay, all I got to do is just a little bit, and same thing happens in the NBA. It happens in professional sports where you do have to work hard. You have to work very hard. You have to be willing to make a sacrifice. So when everybody is asleep, say for instance, your teammates might get up at 6 o'clock. You might get up at 5, or you might get up at, if you're really motivated, 4 o'clock and you're going to be tired. But what happens is, and it's just simply that you've been doing it longer. It's not that you're any better than them, but you get better over time because you've just been doing it longer. Well, how are you so good? Well, I just been in the gym for 2 more hours than you. That's it. So, by the time you get up and you're ready to go, I might have gotten 200 or 300 shots in. And that just adds to my total. And every day that compounds, I get 200 or 300 more shots than you. And then if you take off on the weekend, I'm still working on the weekends for maybe a couple hours. That's another 200 or 300 shots. Another 200 or 300. That's 600. Right. So I got 600 even coming in the Monday morning. And then my 200 or 300 regular ones. Right. So just kind of showing up. There's an old adage, the early bird gets the worm. And in a lot of situations, that is very true.